Where do I start? I was planning on doing a video today about tribalism, specifically in fandom. I had this funny skit planned out where, like, I'd be wearing, a geeky shirt, kind of like the one I'm wearing now. Better one. This is kind of shitty. And, like, I'd say how terrible, like, fanboy, tribalism it becoming a walking billboard, and I'd switch all my t-shirts out, like the different things, like, I have a Marvel t-shirt, then I have a DC one, I go, oh shit, then Star Wars, and then I woke up to the news that the US Capitol Hill, like capital with an O, got essentially overrun by a bunch of fascists who was supported by a very major fascist who is trying desperately hard to hold on to his power. And while the idea of talking about tribalism is still very much prevalent, and I decided that trying to coach it in fun terms and trying to keep it light and breezy, it just doesn't feel right. Say what you will about what's going on in America. It's essentially tribalism at its worst, It's nationalism. It's all sorts of terrible bullshit that's going on where one group of people I think the word is empowered by a genuinely evil person. Geez, 4 years ago I don't think I could have said something like that about a person like Donald Trump. I still think he's a narcissistic grifter, but I think, just given the fact of what he's been doing lately, it really shouldn't be a contentious statement to say he's actually evil. I know some people will probably disagree with that statement, but given his 4 years leading a country, his response to the COVID situation particularly is incredibly brutal and flat out evil. And yet, he's inspired the worst in people. And it's not just the worst in people, it's the worst in people who are flying the flag of freedom and liberty and justice and democracy, whereas they clearly give no shits to any of that. They just want the freedom to be racist. They want the freedom to be an asshole to other people. They just want to have all the power and none of the consequences. I am so far beyond trying to give some of these people the shadow of a doubt and saying that maybe there's still some good people. No, I think if there's anything, this has proven that anyone that can support this on Trump's side, they're not good people. It's like anything when you've got a very that word, system, or people that believe in that system. They know it's wrong. They know that it's not things everyone agrees with them. They know it's a position that is going to have them at odds, and you just know they know that it's inherently wrong. But they coach it, they massage the words, they want to... It's doublespeak. Ironically enough, one of the things I wanted to talk about was how a lot of people really seem to hate Wonder Woman 84, and yet it's funny that part of 1984 alludes to a thing where a government system doesn't tell the truth all the time and deliberately manufactures the truth, and they have a thing called doublespeak, and they have Cold War illusions, and it's funny how a lot of people seem to have fucking skipped a lot of that. But then again, people keep pointing out the Orwellian overtones of the Trump presidency, fake news and all that. It's not an accident. I just wanted to get these out there. I am a little bit tired of being overstressed and stuff like that on a few things, and just... But the thing that really kind of sucks is just how powerless it feels in this situation. I'm just some jackass from Australia. I want to try and see the world turn into a better place. And watching a country where so much of our media comes from, especially so much of our positive media, we see all these depictions of, positive traits in superheroes, the idea that, we can fight for a better world, the idea that we can collectively do something, and, we should be punching Nazis in the face. And then you get this country that's always been famously punched Nazis in the face, literally turn into Nazis. It just makes you think. It really just makes you think, what the fuck is going on with this planet? I know, I probably shouldn't be going on about this. It's way outside of my wheelhouse. I wanted to talk about geeky things, but it feels a little bit prescient to want to talk about an idea of us versus them, how corrupting and how damaging this thing is. How, especially we see it in fandom, this idea of Star Trek versus Star Wars, Marvel versus DC. Well, you can only have one, the other one's terrible. And I've seen that play out with people I know, where it's just like, I know someone who flatly refuses to deal with anything Marvel. I just don't like them, but they don't really engage with it. So how do they know? But at the same time, there's people who like, all Marvel universe, they're the best things ever. The DC universe, okay, the DCU sucks, but there's some good out of it. Like, I defend Wonder Woman 84. Don't care. I liked it. I can't prove it, but I can at least talk about why I really enjoyed about the film. I didn't just say, I didn't like it. Do a vlog about it. I really need to do a vlog about the New Mutants as well. Because that's another one that I think got some undeserved hate, because a lot of people went in hating it before. And that's the other thing. People are now... The tribalistic bullshit is such that people are hating movies before they've seen it. And oh my god, it's a superhero movie starring a woman, directed by a woman, and written by a woman. So of course you get all the comic skating fuck knuckles preemptively hating on it. But it's okay, because they preemptively hated Captain Marvel, and they still try and sell the bullshit that it didn't make $1 billion and that all the seats were bought by Disney. Because, that makes financial sense. Apparently, when I went to go see the movies, my ticket was also bought by Disney, so thanks, Disney, I didn't have to spend my money. Do I need to even say that was a joke? Do these morons actually think that is... I don't know if I'm going to release this, I'll be honest. Part of me didn't want to even put the camera up and record. I was just kind of just feeling over it. And I think that's maybe the problem, is that especially after the last year, 2020, especially after all the bullshit regarding COVID, all the bullshit regarding movie releases, all the other crap going on in the world, the last final death throes of the Trump administration, I think people are just overloaded. And I hate to say it, but I think the world might be a little bit too cynical and too bitter to enjoy just a fucking light-hearted movie that wants to talk about truth and how, believing in wishful thinking is bad, or, maybe we just don't deserve nice things anymore. Maybe our culture is just too far gone. We're having people literally try and hijack a democratic election because they are firmly entrenched in this belief that this flat-out liar, his election got stolen from him, even though his election got stolen from him in 2016, which he won. And he was preemptively saying this was stolen from him. It's almost like that's the MO of a complete narcissistic liar grifter. They preemptively seed this idea that if I don't win, it must be fraud. Jeez. The fact that none of these people seem to stop and think about that is kind of perplexing, to be honest. I'm kind of over it. Less than a week into the new year, and not that I thought the arbitrary date change is going to do anything, but people like Donald Trump and his supporters are the unbeatable rubber duck. terrible ideology like this doesn't ever truly go away. It just permeates in the background, and this is why you get people saying anti-fascists are fascists, because they believe the bullshit by these extremists. They won't listen to reason. They will prefer an armed conflict because they believe they are right, and no matter what their actions are, however unjust, are for the right reasons. And realistically speaking, the only thing that makes them right is their political stance. And I often wonder, do some of these people actually believe that? Because they are right, they are correct. They talk about freedom, but they don't want it. They want it for them. They don't care about it. They care about themselves. It's just tiring. I wanted to talk about fandom. I only want to talk about fandom. I want to talk about fandom because I think it could be better. But then I see this and I think, how can fandom be better when the world just wants to burn itself to the ground? I don't know. See ya.